This is Vanessa Joy here for Adorama TV, and today we're doing portraits on a budget. I'm going to shoot with gear that's entry-level gear and get great results. What we're shooting with today is the Canon M50 Mark II, and my lens of choice is the 32mm f1.4 lens. This is a fantastic lens. Not only does it go all the way down to 1.4, it's inexpensive, but it gets that kind of look that I'm going for as if I was using maybe a 50mm, 70mm on a full frame camera. Since this is a 1.6 crop, I believe, in the APS-C sensor, it's going to be much more compressed than if I put a 35 onto a full frame camera, but let's get shooting. So let me just get a basic exposure here. Actually looking pretty good. I'm gonna reach over and raise the brightness. This is a great light source. Yeah, that looks awesome. So now I can go a little bit lower on my ISO. That looks perfect, good. This looks awesome. Let me actually, I'm gonna tilt this slightly this way, and then you're gonna scoot that way a little bit more. And essentially I'm gonna feather the light on you so it looks a little bit better. Perfect. And then you can grab your coffee cup, because who doesn't want to drink coffee while you're working? And then do a couple looking at me. That looks great. Get some close-ups like your fingers. Nice. And then go for the mouse. Nice. And then just kind of like give a little lean here and look towards me. And then this, I think we're gonna pull this in. Yep. Love that. Thankfully I'm at 200th of a second, so we shouldn't get any camera shake here. Nice. That's really cute. So let's do that. And you could turn your head a little bit, yeah, because the light. Nice. Cute. And then go ahead and look at me. Is the last time I shot you your wedding?
Yeah.
Oh my God, and that was like a year and a half ago.
I know.
It's way too long, it does. Yeah, time flies when you're in quarantine, exactly. Said no one ever, by the way. Oh, that's really cute. Look down like that over your shoulder again. And then just with your eyes, look up at me. See, Nikki's crazy. She wants to work with her husband too.
Oh yeah?
Aw, and I can see all the baby Leotas behind you.
Yes.
And then do one with the cup down. Yep. Oh, now I can actually do this. Awesome. I love this. I think we got some great quality shots where she's gonna be able to use these for her website when she starts her own business, which we're trying to convince Nikki to do. For the most part, I stayed at the exact same exposure. There were a little bit of fluctuations in light, but nothing that Lightroom's not gonna handle, so let's get to that next. Before we get into editing, make sure you download my free posing inspiration guide. There are lots of poses in there for groups, couples, and individuals. I know you'll find some inspiration. You can grab that in the link below. These are my absolute favorite photos from the shoot here in Lightroom. I have to say, not mad about how the M50 Mark II handled even the shadows here. Now there are a couple things I want to do to these photos. I'm probably going to throw on my Joyfully Simple preset that you can grab at presets.breatheyourpassion.com. I do tend to flip through the rest of them, but I find myself always going back to what I typically do to all of my photos. Then that's what presets really are supposed to be, a workflow item that just helps you get to your final photo faster. Now I did want to bring up the blacks when normally I crunch them a little bit on my photos, just because the shadows were a little bit dark in these photos and I wanted to bring them up, get a little bit of life in there, and then be careful, of course, of the highlights too. For the most part, the lighting and composition and shadows were similar in all of the photos, so I was able to quickly sync the settings after I figured out what I wanted in that first photo. After that, just popping in to do a little bit of skin smoothing, really on my favorite photo here, brightening the eyes, and here's the final set of photos that I know she'll be happy with. Well, I hope you had fun shooting with me, Nikki, in my office, getting some nice lifestyle photos. I definitely was happy with the result, able to hit some nice focus points, even all the way down at 1.6, 1.8, and f2. It's really nice just being able to trust the camera to get that face and eye detection so that I don't have to worry about focus. And then editing them later, I did see a little bit of noise, but had no problem pulling that out in Lightroom. The main thing that I need to be concerned about is the light on my subject's face. As long as I can get good light in her face, some catch lights in her eyes, that's all I really need to be able to take a quality image with this camera. Really with any camera. One of the tricks I used, in addition to maybe throwing in a reflector, would be to use the computer screen. I actually pulled up a blank white document on the computer screen, so that light is another light source that's gonna help me out. So don't be intimidated if you can't spend $10,000 on camera gear. You absolutely can get great results under $1,000. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is way under $1,000.